Okay, Sparky.
Thank you.
There you go.
So on the show, you'll hear us talk about insurance all the time. If you're hiring a subcontractor to work on your house, then you should always ask for a certificate of insurance. And it should always come from their insurance company, not pulled out of his binder. The reasoning behind this is that I can go get insurance January 1st, print out a copy of that certificate of insurance, then cancel my insurance and pass it out all year long and not be insured. So in order to know that you're insured or that they are insured and you are covered, have it sent directly from their insurance company to you. This is important stuff.
Yeah, naming you additionally insured.
Preferably, and I only make it do that if it was a larger project. But, if you have a guy coming to trim your trees, I wouldn't necessarily have to be named additionally insured, but I would still want to make sure that he's insured.
Yes.
So there's a few things on that certificate of insurance you have to look for. So the first one's general liability. So their liability should be a minimum of $1 million. Okay, and if your project is larger or more upscale, you work in a neighborhood of $5 million homes, $1 million coverage may not quite cover it.
Right.
It should also, so then it should be a minimum of $2 to $5 million. Also, it should show that the limit is per job, not policy. Now, there's a little checkbox on this form, and if that checkbox isn't checked, it usually means that the insurance is per year. So here's the deal. You got a bad guy. He drops a tree on a house. They pay out on that house $300,000, and then the same guy drops a tree on your house. You only get the difference in his limits, so you can't get $1 million or $2 million. You're only going to get the difference. By doing it per job, you still could collect that much money. So it's a very little key checkbox.
Wow. Okay.
And so the liability is any damage to your property, neighbor's property, anything that he's liable for, right?
Sure.
Another one has become more tricky is commercial auto policies. If you drive work trucks, you should have a commercial insurance policy on those trucks. Majority of contractors typically only carry insurance through their own personal provider, so it's not a commercial policy. Now, that is not to say that you would not be insured, but what happens is you would want that they have a policy for hired and non-owned vehicles. And I had that, and it was only a couple $100. But the reason you want to look at the auto is because if they only have a 100, 300 policy, the 100,000, 300,000, or maybe worse, they have a $10,000, $50,000.
Right.
Look at the cars on the road.
Mm-hmm.
The communities I work in, I mean, we have the highest number of Ferraris per capita down here. So literally, you hit one of those, and you've only got $50,000 coverage.
Right.
Guess what? You're going to have a
shelling it out.
You're going to be paying on that the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure your insurance is there. But the hired and non-owned vehicles is great because if I'm on a job and one of my subcontractors guys backs into a house or backs into your car or something like that, we're still going to be covered. Even if his insurance is crap, we have it. And that's a cheap policy. So that one's a no-brainer to me that every contractor should have hired and non-owned vehicles.
Correct.
Workman's comp. This one's, again, everybody kind of gets an idea what workman's comp is. And Ron can tell you it can be damn expensive depending on where you are.
And that can be.
Limits.
Can be? No, it's not can
It is.
Yes.
It is damn expensive.
Yes.
But if you're, the state of Florida is even dumber yet. Okay, so you have high rates in Illinois. But here in Florida, I can fill out a piece of paper online, sign it, and I can become workman's comp exempt.
What?
Yes. So I have guys out there that, if you're a one-man company, it's not unusual to be workman's comp exempt because as the owner of the company, you're automatically covered under your GL policy up to $30,000 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then the guy shows up with 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, but you're workman's comp exempt, so why do you have these guys here? Are they here to watch you? Are those your personal spectators? Because they're not allowed on the job.
Yeah. Well, and
they're like looking at me like, no, these guys. They're not working for me. They're subcontractors. I go, we're gonna play this game. You know how the IRS treats this?
Right.
Anyway, it's so rampant down here. They're really good on licensing.
Yeah.
But man, they do some really weird stuff that's just stupid.
Well, and then the insurance companies here now, even though the owner of the company can be exempt, they're still requiring it.
Yes.
So they've gone past that, and the insurance companies just say, nah, we even require the owner of the company to be covered under workman's comp. So, which isn't a bad thing, So, all right, back to you, sir.
No, it's quite all right. I'm getting close to the end already. This, because I figure it's insurance. Robbie's probably still sleeping.
Yeah.
Yep, went back to bed.
Yep. So anyway, the trouble that you could have on any one of these jobs or in your house and all that, again, it's all avoidable. It's just get the certificate of insurance from the contractor prior to starting work. And if you don't truly understand what it says, take it to your agent, let them know what's going on.
Right.
And the reason for that is because if it's a large enough project, your agent might tell you that you need a builder's risk policy.
Yes.
And the name is misleading. Everybody thinks the builder has to get it. And it's like, no, a builder's risk policy is for a homeowner. You purchase that for installed materials until completion. Once it's completed, it goes under your homeowner's insurance. But if we have a problem or something grows legs, which God knows it's happened.
Sure.
Somebody cuts all the copper out of your house. That's not on me. That's on you because we had it installed.
Mm-hmm.
So you technically own it. So the builder's risk covers you on that. And that's a very inexpensive policy as well.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that need to get done. And, of course, they don't show that at the box store on the sign when you're buying all this material.
No.
But, again, if you hire reputable contractors, guys that are good, all this stuff gets handled, and it's no problem. So next time you see the little bit higher price, think about your own protection. And, what do they say? Low prices are soon forgotten, but poor quality is never forgotten.
Yes.
Like that. So
there you go. It's exactly.
Anyway, that's your tip of the week on insurance. I know it's a boring subject, but it's really something you have to worry about.
Yeah, and it's the first thing that when someone calls and says, "Okay, what are we doing? And what should I do about this contractor?" That's the first thing I always tell people is check their insurance, make sure that they're up to speed and that they've got their workman's comp. Workman's comp's extremely expensive. And
what are you guys paying? Probably like $20 per 100 or something stupid?
It's $18 per 100 right now for interior carpentry. So
that's ludicrous.
Yeah. So we'll talk more during the break. So join us on Facebook Live, and we've got the commissioner in the wings. We'll have her on next.
Awesome.
This is Mighty House. Mighty House will return.